because I do 1,300 crunches and sit-ups 4 times a week.
What's a dose? Can you translate for us?
Winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Ernie Els.
Hello and welcome to a very short soundtrack clip edition of the Goat Track, the podcast about golf and golf adjacent things, mostly from Africa, mostly from South Africa, and in particular KwaZulu-Natal. I'm here with the Goat Track regular, Mr. Fuad Davids, from the famed golf cheating episode, as well as the golf etiquette episode, the man who doesn't know how to walk to his putts, and the man who has drunk a lot at the Nedbank. But I'm glad that you were involved in the Nedbank one, where you also slowly deteriorated the more that you drank. So it wasn't just me on the Amdoni pod.
I must say, Jacques, just to let the listeners know, my etiquette is much better. I think you need to admit my etiquette is much better than it was when I started.
I think the funny thing about it is that your knowledge of the rules and your etiquette has got to the stage now where you actually the dick that you were talking about in the initial club champs.
100%. I mean, you can ask John Mark when we normally play better ball. He now's at the point where he's actually looking at me to say whether or not we can give a putt, because I don't give putts anymore.
No, I know, but I also know that we were talking about it the other day, in match play, where normally I think initially you would have been just letting things slide. Now you're becoming a bit of a stickler for the rules. I think if someone didn't mark their ball on the green now with a marker before picking it up, I think you'd be the oak to call it out.
100%, and I do. Even when I play, with guys that don't know the rules very well, I call them out because that's what happened to me.
So just for this 1 minute sound check episode, we're going to discuss superstitions in golf.
Hopefully Josh doesn't listen.
Yeah,
otherwise
exactly.
he has the playbook to beating me.
So, look, I don't have many superstitions, I don't think. Like I said in the previous podcast, I normally, I suppose the superstition is like, do you get a certain amount of putts in? Is there like an order to your training regime or your warm up? Is there a particular outfit that you wear? Is there a particular routine you have to follow before you putt? I think you need to differentiate superstition from distraction. I know, Sean, you might say he's superstitious of people moving in his backswing, but I think that's more of a distraction thing. But I think for the most part, I'm not really superstitious about my game. I sort of get there and hit the shot. But Fuad, I think you come from a different point.
Mine is basically all of the above that was mentioned now. I have to, and I didn't do it for a while, and I suspect that's why I've been playing so shit the last few rounds. Look, it didn't work in our better ball knockout match. I very confidently said to John Mark that morning or the previous day, back to my old superstitions, feel relaxed, it's going to work. Just if I can name a few, I the night before I have to put out a certain outfit. That outfit has to be in a certain room with the cap on it, up like socks, jocks, everything has to be there.
So does Gigi not get to stay in a room that night because you're like, sorry, this room is booked off for the golf kit?
No, luckily it's in the spare room. But then my wife normally would pack stuff on top of it, and that throws me off immediately.
And then what else?
Then just with preparation to play, it's worked for me in the past where I have to wipe my clubs the night before. I have to make sure that the amount of balls I'm going to play with, or the balls that I want to play with, is in a certain pocket of my...
Is there a certain amount that you have to have, or is it just has to be in a certain pocket? Because this all sounds like ordinary preparation.
It has to
be
maybe
like over preparation, but still, it doesn't sound like a superstition that like there's a particular pair of underpants that you have to wear or something like that.
Yeah, there's no certain pair, but I believe, if I play in the Rhino shirt, for instance, I normally play good. So if I'm in trouble normally and I've played a few bad rounds, I pull out that Rhino shirt, and it's always come through for me. So I prefer that. But then there has to be 3 balls in the side pocket, and then sometimes 3 ball in the bottom pocket. There can't be any more because it doesn't fit into the holes in the.
No, but
the
I
golf cart.
know for a fact you're not carrying around only 6 balls.
No,
but then you've got
no,
like what
definitely
another pocket with like
Then
100
have
spare
another
balls.
pocket with like 100 cuck balls as well. In case the game goes to shit, then I at least know what to pull out. But another thing also is I shouldn't chip and putt before I play around. Normally, if I do, then.
So is that like because that's a bit, I suppose, opposite to the over preparation superstition that in inverted commas that you have, that you don't chip and putt before the round, because that would seem like something that you would do to try and prep yourself.
Yeah,
is it like a coffee, or like do you have to have a cup of coffee or like a beer or something before you play, or like it doesn't really matter? There's no particular drink or.
No, there's no particular drink. It's just it probably for me it feels like it's just I have to do those certain things or not do certain things, and if I don't do it or I do it, then in my mind already I know.
Okay, so what have we said? We've said balls in particular pockets, certain outfits out the night before. And then on the course, like on the routines and the rest of it, is there any like, I mean, some people have like a weird tick, like they would like touch the ground or something. I don't know. I'm just using an example.
Yeah, I have to, when I set up for my ball, I have to look 2 times. I can only look 2 times. If I look more than 2 times, I have to step away and go again and 2 times.
Yeah.
But I think you reminded me previously that I'm a high handicap. I mean, I'm not a professional golfer yet. So I'm trying to stop that. But it's normally I have to look 2 times. Even with the putt, I have to take 1 practice swing very close to the ball. And then I have to look, I think it's also 2 times. And then if I look up again, then I have to start the routine over again.
And have you found, like, have you actually collected some data? Does it actually really make a difference, or do you just think it makes a difference?
It's just in my mind. Because I've played cuck when I chipped and putt, and I've played well when I chipped and putt, as when I've not chipped and putt. I mean, it goes either way. So I think it's just in my mind.
So I've just had a quick squiz here at some of the other golfers' superstitions that people have, and here's some that have popped up. So avoiding washing a lucky ball, never using a found ball the same day it's found. I know Ernie Els had a thing where he used to make a birdie with a ball, and then he would never play with that ball again. He's like, there's only 1 birdie in each ball, so you'd always change a ball after making a birdie. Or maybe it was an eagle, but well, one of those. But he had that.
I think it was a birdie. I remember him saying that.
So the other one here is avoiding certain colors. So that's similar to you. Or ball numbers. That would be something that Hoff does. I know Hoff, he doesn't like when you change the dial of the volume on the radio and the car. It has to be like an even number, but a 5 is okay as well.
So just there, I mean, I normally when I buy balls, I randomly open, or when I open the packet, I normally like it to be the number 1 ball, because I believe if I have a number 2 or 3 or 4, I'm definitely going to lose a match at play.
I mean, some of the other ones are types of tees that you use, like using a particular like color tee. I know you're pretty pedantic about your tee that you use.
But it's if I hit driver off the box, it has to be those colored ones, and if it's an iron off the box, it has to be the wooden ones.
So I remember that you had that one tee that you were using. I think it was at Zimbali. Simbiti we played. And I remember you were searching for that thing in the bushes because you were hitting it so nicely off that tee. And I thought guys were going to have to hand that thing in at the pro shop afterwards. You were looking, thought you had lost your putter or something.
It's still a bit the same, but there's certain things I'm trying to just work out because it just plays with my mind.
I know the other one is obviously ball markers. Some people are quite particular about the ball marker that they use. It's like a lucky coin or something that they've been given by someone. I'm not too stressed about ball markers. I know that Ian Poulter used to use a ball marker that was like studded with diamonds and the rest of it. I mean, the thing must have been worth a couple $1,000, and he dropped it. And I remember there was one tournament I must find out, but the guys were searching for that thing. I mean, it's a couple of $1,000, and he's dropped this ball marker out of his pocket, and the guys were searching for in the bushes, and I think they managed to find it. But I know that's the other superstition. There's another one here: starts on the left foot, so taking a particular step first off the tee box. I can just see your brain working now. That's something that you're going to be thinking about now.
That's probably, I mean, just to go back with tees, I also have to have a certain amount of tees in the cart as well. 3 in those little 3 holes that they normally give you, and then I have to have 2 behind my ear. One, I think it's normally the wooden one behind the left, and then the other one behind the right.
I mean, obviously Tiger Woods wearing the red shirt on the final day. I think that's similar to your
Rhino shirt.
The power of threes. So what was this? Tom Weiskopf believes in the power of threes. Before he hits a green, he needs 3 cents and 3 tees in his pocket. So he used to try and have. Yes, your superstitions haven't got to that level yet. Yeah, Ernie Els inherently only has 1 birdie in it, so you'd change balls. Ben Crenshaw didn't use any balls with a higher number than 4 on it. So he thought that was linked to the score that he was going to shoot on a hole.
100%. That's me when I have a number 2 or 3 ball.
Yeah, Zach Johnson's got a biblical phrase or verse on his ball marker, so he has to use that ball marker. So yeah, it looks like it's not something that us golfers, and I suppose with the tradition and the slight margins and the lack of the draw that you get on the golf course and the lack of the bounce, I can see why superstition would start to creep into it. I mean, isn't that the whole point of superstition? Is you're trying to find some pattern to the absolute madness that is golf and life and the rest of it.
But I think it's also sometimes, I mean, when you go through, I'm going through a patch now where I can't break 100, and I'm honestly trying each and every superstition that I've believed in the last few years since I started playing golf, just to get over that line. That's where I'm at the moment. I mean, this just to mention, buying a new putter now, I mean, that's playing with my mind immensely.
So, step on a crack, break your mother's back. Step on the edge, straight into the hedge. Christina Kim refuses to step on the edge where the fairway meets the green. She's sure it'll bring bad luck. So that's similar, like some people don't want to...
But that's general, you don't step on cracks. What do you mean?
So, I mean, is it the same for you? I mean, you won't step on So if you're walking from onto the green, you won't step on the cut line between the green. You'd have to step over it. So it's like stepping on a crack.
No, for me, that's not a crack. Just in general, I mean, you don't step on cracks. That's very bad luck.
All right. Well, I think that's a good take on some superstitions in golf. Obviously, I think, as I said, there's a fine line, I think, between superstitions and distractions. But again, I mean, if it puts you in the mental zone and it doesn't waste time, and you're not waiting on pace of play for you to flick 3 coins in the air, take 1 step, back off 2 times. I mean, Keegan Bradley can get bad with that, flicking his club and stalking his ball and the rest of it before he hits a shot.
I'd be interested to see if he plays a social around like that as well.
But also, I wonder if that's not setup stuff or if that's superstition, because some people have a very deliberate setup, so they hit the same shot every single time. Whereas I think, a superstition to say, well, I have to flick my club 3 times before I play. It's almost a fine line between what your standard routine is.
Has anyone checked whether he flicks it the same amount of times every time?
I'm not sure. But I mean, also what's his face, old Brian Harmon's waggles. I don't know if but that's not really a superstition thing. I mean, that's just like a tick.
Yeah, I think it's just for him to get into his motion of swinging.
Yeah. All right, FD. Well, I think nice little 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's leave it there, and I'm sure Josh and any of your competitors now are going to be scrambling into your golf bag to pull 3 balls out, and
please don't send this podcast to Josh.
Having a look to see whether you're wearing your Rhino shirt, so they know whether you're in for a good game or not. I know you always say my blue cap. You think that gives me good luck.
Not just the blue cap, yeah, but that blue cap and that rain suit, especially when it's raining in Cotswold. If I play in match play a better ball like that, I know I'm losing.
All right, FD.
Thanks, Josh.